Welcome back. Today we're talking about the 20-cent Cardano and the $10 Cardano price. Now, I posted this on my YouTube page. If you want to take this poll, it's still around. You can go over youtube.com/the Cryptovisor or click my logo down below, then click on the community tab, and you'll see all the polls and questions there that you guys can participate in. But this poll said, will Cardano go under 20 cents? The price in the middle of September was 24 cents. And here are the results so far. 3,500 of you voted, and I appreciate all that support on the poll. And 57% said yes, 33% said no, and 10% said show the results, no opinion on the matter. And so here's the deal, guys. Right now, the Cardano price, when I'm recording this video, is around 25 cents. Now, obviously, when you're watching the video, the price may be slightly different because this was recorded on a different day than you're watching it, most likely, right? And so that's important to keep in mind because there's a lot of people that they'll say, oh, Cryptovisor, how come the price is different than it is today? I mean, you guys can figure that out, right? You guys are really smart. So we're at about 25 cents. Where are we in the cycle? Now, I'm recording this in the second half of 2023. And by the way, this is the Cryptovisor Podcast. We talk about everything crypto, blockchain, and investing every single day of the year. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Turn on the notification bell. That way you never miss a new video, which is every single day since 2018. And do me a favor and also give the video a free thumbs up. It lets me know you guys enjoy the content. It lets YouTube know, and it's free to do because Cardano is not free, but thumbs up are definitely free. And so if we look at the price chart, right, we know the all-time record high was around $3.10. This happened in 2021. But if we look at where we are in the cycle today, when I'm recording the video, we're in the second half of 2023. We are about 8-9 months before the Bitcoin halving. And so if we look at historical data and kind of go back in time to where we were 4 years ago at this point in the cycle during the previous bear market, remember, the bear market capitulation occurred in the beginning of the pandemic, which was in the middle of March 2020, right? Now, a lot of people will just say, well, but Cryptovisor, this was the pandemic. That's why the market capitulated. Well, I would argue that cyclical trends or trends in the cycle of Bitcoin and therefore the rest of the crypto market show that before the Bitcoin halving occurs, you have one more capitulation event before you start going higher. This is very common in many markets. When the market is, let's just put it this way, markets don't go straight up and markets don't go straight down. You guys can see on the way down, there's some ups. On the way ups, there's some downs. But before you actually can start moving in a parabolic way to the upside or to the downside, typically you'll see one of these capitulation events, whether it's capitulation to the upside or capitulation to the downside. Capitulation to the upside looks like this, where you're seeing straight moves to the upside. But before those moves to the upside, typically you have a hard drop, right? You can see this little run right here. This happened in 2021. From the beginning of 2021 till the middle of 2021, you could see a big drive up. And then we had a few months of downward movement and then a final capitulation point. It looks like a triple bottom here. And then the market moved parabolically to the upside. That's when we reached the all-time record high of $3.10. And then that was the capitulation to the upside. And then the market went straight down, right? And if you're ever unsure, like most people won't say, oh, well, this is a capitulation to the upside. Flip it, right? If you flip this chart over, right, where this is the bottom and it's over here, and this is over here, and this bottom part would be up here, you would say, oh yeah, that's a parabolic bull run. Again, all you got to do is flip the chart. So you have capitulation to the downside before you get major upside. And before you get major downside, you get major upside, right? And so if we look at where we were back in 2020 and 2019, which is effectively 4 years before I'm recording this video, remember, March of 2020 was the capitulation point where Cardano went effectively from about 7-8 cents, or even a little bit before that. You can see the year before. We'll just say 7-8 cents in February of 2020, all the way down to effectively 2 cents. So a 75% reduction in the price in just 1 month, from February to March of 2020. Now, I'm recording this video end of September, early October 2023. So we have to go back to, September, October of 2019. Now, what we see here is, let's zoom in a little bit further down because the prices get a little bit, tighter. But you can see that in September, the middle of September 2019, we peaked out at about 5.5 cents, 5.5 cents. And then we had a capitulation point to the downside where we moved from 5.5 cents to 3.5 cents, which is basically about a 40% reduction in the price in just a few days. And then we kind of sideways traded until we reached that beginning of 2020 timeframe where the market had a little bit of a melt up, capitulation to the upside, and then we had a drop, capitulation to the downside before that pandemic shutdown, and then the money printing started, and then the Bitcoin halving began, and then we saw all of the factors combining together, and effectively we had up only until the peak of the market in 2021. So where we are in the cycle right now is basically right here, right before this major capitulation point. And so I believe we're going to have probably not one, but two capitulation points before the bull run begins, like straight basically up only, or before the Bitcoin halving. Now, I've been saying for quite a while now that I think we're going to have one more capitulation point. But based on the cyclical data, there's the potential that we're going to have two capitulation points. One probably before November, and then one before the Bitcoin halving. Whether this is going to happen exactly as I am saying, I don't know. I'm just basing this based on this is the last cycle where we were at this point in time. So I think that we are going to see a little bit of a drop in the coming months, but I don't think that's the major capitulation point. I think the major capitulation point is going to come probably 1, 2, 3, or 4 months before the Bitcoin halving. And if we have approximated that the Bitcoin halving will occur sometime in the middle of April until early May, 3 or 4 months before that would put us effectively in somewhere from the December or January or early February timeframe, which would be very in line with the previous cycle where we saw a little bit of a melt up right before a major drop and capitulation point when the pandemic shutdown began, and then we started moving to the upside. So what I'm looking for now is a little bit of a drop, probably sideways trading, and then a melt up before a major capitulation event. And then to me, that would mark the beginning of the bull run. Again, based on cyclical trends, you guys are looking at the chart, the same chart that I'm looking at. And again, these are my opinions. This is not investment advice. I'm not predicting the future. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Anything and everything I discuss in this video could be incorrect. So make sure you guys do your own research, understand the risks involved, and understand at least what I'm explaining to you. And you can do with that information what you will, but this is not financial advice. I'm giving you my analysis of these markets. And so far, pretty much all of my analysis based on historical trends in the market have been accurate. I told you guys in 2021 that we would probably see the peak of the market occurring between August of 2021 and October of 2021. Cardano peaked in September of 2021. Called that to the day. Did I take action on that in my portfolio the way that I should have? Probably not, but I think that we still did a pretty good job at least identifying that. We called the bottom of the market in 2022, almost to the day, basically saying from the top of the market to the bottom of the market would be about 1 year. So we would not have seen capitulation until November at the earliest. And sure enough, November was when FTX collapsed 1 year to the day after the bull market. So this is kind of what I'm looking at as we move forward. What's going to happen from a psychological standpoint and from the comments section here on YouTube, most likely, and on Twitter, is this is the fake out, right? This is the fake out capitulation. Whatever the next major drop is from when I'm recording this video, maybe that's 20 cents, right? Because as soon as we hit 20 cents, people are going to be coming on my channel and saying, Cryptovisor, did you buy it yet? It's 20 cents. What I have been saying for literally almost a year now is when I buy back into Cardano, I don't know when that's going to be. Now, I have said 20 cents is my price target, 20 cents and below for Cardano. But a price target doesn't mean I'm dumping my bank account into Cardano. It means I'm going to reassess what happens in the market. When we hit 20 cents, if we hit 20 cents, which I think we will, when we hit 20 cents, when did we hit it? How close are we to the Bitcoin halving? What other geopolitical and geoeconomic events are occurring? What's happening with the Federal Reserve? What's happening with inflation? And so just because we hit 20 cents doesn't mean I'm going to buy. I may wait because I may not think that that's capitulation. And if it's not capitulation, that means we're going even lower than that at some point in the future. And so I think that if we do hit 20 cents before November of 2023, there is going to be this idea that the capitulation has occurred. But again, I don't think that it will until we have that final capitulation. So this will be the fake out capitulation if this chart follows 2019, right? What I'm showing you is 2019 into 2020. And so if we follow this, we're going to have a fake out event. Everyone's going to think that was the bottom. People are going to start accumulating. Then we're going to have this run up, right? This melt up. This melt up is going to fake people out saying, oh yeah, you see the bull market started, Cryptovisor. The bull market started. We're already in the bull market. It's up only from here. And then because they were faked out on this first capitulation, then we're going to, boom, hit another capitulation point. And that is going to, that's going to rock some people's worlds. Because keep in mind, in 2020, granted, nobody knew what to expect, right? The pandemic was like out of left field. And so when Bitcoin was basically the same exact chart, I mean, I think I can add Bitcoin here so you guys can see. Because I want you to see, not what I wanted to do. Bitcoin, US dollar, we'll go to Coinbase. Okay, perfect. So close that and then compare this. How come I don't even see it? All right, visibility. I can't see it at all. All right, I don't know why it's not comparing, but anyway, essentially Bitcoin basically followed the same thing. Bitcoin went from like $10,000 or $12,000 down to $3,000 when the pandemic began, right? And so when that capitulation was happening, long-term Bitcoin maximalists were freaking out. I remember because I was starting to freak out because these Bitcoin maximalists were freaking out and they were selling their Bitcoin at $3,000 because they thought we were going to zero because the whole global economy shut down. That is capitulation. Capitulation is not going to be when most people are like, yeah, you see, we're at the bottom of the market. When most people say that, we're not there yet. When most people are fearful and selling their crypto, yeah, then we hit capitulation. So this is what I think is going to happen with Cardano. I was looking at this chart the other day and I said, whoa, we're at September. Like we're literally at this point in September when I'm recording this video. At the same point that Cardano was back in 2019. Kind of at this point where it's like, it looks like we're going to drop because it looks like the whole economy is not doing too hot. We have a lot of strikes going on right now. We have a lot of businesses not doing that well from a revenue standpoint or a profit standpoint. We're seeing a lot of those type of situations, and inflation print in September for August showed an increase of year-over-year inflation from previous months where we were seeing decreases. So this could cause the Federal Reserve to say that they're going to stay higher for longer, and the market's not going to like, and that could push the market down. And I'm trying to figure out the timing of all of this, but I think that because we have so much time, right? 9 months doesn't seem like a lot of time, but it is a lot of time in market terms, right? I think that if we have a drop here from 25 cents to 20 cents, I don't think that could be capitulation. I think it's going to be lower than that based on what we saw in 2020. So anyway, these are just some of my opinions and thoughts, right? There's a lot of other positive momentum in Cardano, right? Cardano's ADA locked in decentralized finance ecosystem has tripled in 2023 so far. So that's in 9 months, we saw a tripling of ADA being locked in the protocols. We're seeing DeFi protocols continuing to deploy on the blockchain. Live stake continues to maintain a very good number and is holding. And so there's a lot of positive momentum. But one thing I am super happy to see is not that you guys are agreeing with me, because I don't want you to agree with me. I want you to come up with your own investment strategy, portfolio, and thesis. But that most of you guys have a very aligned perspective, it seems, with my investment strategy and my analysis of the markets, that Cardano is probably going to go under 20 cents, whether it's for a day, whether it's for an hour, whether it's for a year, I don't know. But we are closer to 20 cents than we are to $10. And so the likelihood that we're going to hit 20 cents or below before we hit $10 is extremely likely. Guys, there are people in my comments section that are like, Cryptovisor, if you're saying that Cardano can go under 20 cents because we're closer to 20 cents than we are to $10, well, Bitcoin is closer to $0 than it is to $100,000. And it's like, I'm not comparing Cardano to Bitcoin. That's the big difference, right? And, I'm looking at these altcoins, which have basically no volume. The real volume in Cardano is $45 million. Bitcoin is multiple billions of dollars a day is being transacted on the blockchain. So there's no comparison in my view. $10, is it likely during this next bull run? I don't know about likely. It's possible that we're going to hit a $10 Cardano. I wouldn't bet my bank account on it. Let's put it that way. I'm not betting my bank account on it. But I do think that Cardano has the potential in the long term to hit a $10 price. But to get to that $10, we need lower prices first. That's how the markets work. And basically 60% of my viewers agree with what I'm saying here. And that makes me really a little bit more confident in the fact that we don't have all just newbies and maximalists who watch my videos, because I thought that everybody was a maximalist and thought that Cardano is going to $50. And I do have a video called Cardano $50. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend watching it. For my thoughts, opinions, and strategies in these markets, remember, nothing I say is financial advice. I'm talking to you guys, having a little bit of fun, and really, trying to enjoy the whole investment journey with everybody on this channel and talk about what I think is going to happen. I love to hear what you guys think is going to happen down below in the comments, whether you're a maximalist or not a maximalist. I want to know what your opinion is. Let me know. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Invest responsibly. Do your own research, and Cardano to $10.